guys, Imogenia here and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I'm doing a collab with LegitLovely. Please check out her channel. I linked all of her socials down below, and I was actually just so blown away that she asked me to do this over on Twitter. I never thought to do a collab because I just started YouTube and I just started making videos, and I honestly am just still trying to figure it out, you know? So I never thought someone would ask me to do it, period, let alone someone with a channel as great as hers. So she has some great Sims 4 and Sims 3 stuff. I actually really like her Sims 3 stuff too, because honestly I played Sims 3 maybe more than Sims 4. Like, I'm not completely sure, but you should definitely go check out her channel. And she created this beautiful librarian on Sims 4 and has included a CC list to download immediately, and she fits this build pretty perfectly. So today we're building in the spice market on the Waterside warble lot, which used to be a warehouse, so I kind of tried to make this build a little bit industrial looking, so I guess it looks a little bit similar to the old build. I mean, it's a completely new building, but you get what I mean. This build actually ended up being more than 500,000 simoleons, or 500,000 simoleons, because it's 4 stories, and I pretty much cluttered it up a lot because I can't help it. Again, with like a large build, I thought I would save time by not cluttering it up as much, but of course it's a library and I don't know, there needed to be books everywhere, so that's what I ended up doing. And it took me a while because I actually lost all of the files on my computer. It's kind of a long story, but I guess I'll tell it anyways. I'm still really frustrated about it, and like, I lost my save file on Sims 4, and I lost the video that I was actually going to post for this, so that's why it's kind of late. I mean, pretty late. I was supposed to have this up on Wednesday, but then I had to redo their entire thing, and of course on Wednesday I also built a huge build. I kind of redid the whole thing. So my computer was having trouble coming out of sleep mode, where it would just freeze and then the screen would just be black. So I looked up how to turn off or reset your computer without being able to actually click on anything, or I couldn't use the keyboard to do it either, so I decided to reboot it. So I looked it up and it said to hold down the power button for 10 seconds. So I did that, and then once it started up again, it came up with HB Recovery Manager, and I couldn't actually continue as normal. So then it had 2 options. It was either shut down the computer or go to Recovery Manager. And so I went to Recovery Manager, and there's some different options, and I basically tried every option, and I tried recovering my files from my hard drive like 4 times, and it wasn't working, and it would come up with an error. A different error. There was like a couple different errors, and I tried to look it up, seeing if there's anything online, and there was nothing, and it was really frustrating because I tried to back up at first pretty much all my files, you know, just like most of them, and it took probably 36 hours to complete. And at this point I already finished the video that I was originally supposed to post, so I was kind of freaking out. But my computer wouldn't do anything, so I had to do a factory reset, which is where you reset the computer to its original condition. So if you get a laptop, it has no files on it. So I had to do a factory reset, and I did that, and everything's working fine now, but I don't actually have the software that I was using for editing or the audio software that I was using for recording, and so I had to get new different ones because I had some random ass bootlegged versions of other ones that I had from my boyfriend, or I just took off of my boyfriend's computer. So then I needed to relearn 2 different softwares. I mean, it's good, I'm better at computers now, but it still was like, I didn't realize how bad I am at computers until this happened to me, or until I started making YouTube videos. Like, I would watch speed builds all the time, do you know what I mean? But I never knew how hard they actually are, so props to all those Sims 4 builders out there. Props to LegitLovely, props to everyone, because the past couple days have been so frustrating, and I'm just happy that my computer is working, or laptop, may I say. It's not a bad laptop either. It's like, I guess it was like $250. No, it was more than that. I don't know. It's not that bad of a computer, and it can render good videos. Like, I was able to come out with good videos and audio. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, so then for a day, while I was trying to back up all my files onto, I had to buy an external hard drive that was like $50. I mean, it was on sale for $55, but originally it was like $65 or $70, I don't even know, but that was a lot of money. I mean, it's good to have one for everyone, because now I can actually back up my computer and be able to save my files if this happens again. Pray that I hope it won't happen again, but let me know if anything like this has ever happened to you, or like what, if you understand anything that happened, please explain to me, because I am still frustrated, because I had to re-download so much stuff onto my computer, and my Sims 4 save file is nothing now. I mean, I do have the builds that I've like uploaded to the gallery that I can just re-download and stuff. So that's good, but I did have a couple other videos that I was working on, and one was kind of like a castle build. I was like, I spent so much time just building a castle, and now it's gone. So, and actually the first time, I gotta admit, this is really embarrassing, I have to say. The first time I tried making this video and making the build for this video, I actually didn't save my build right away. So I worked on it for a very long time. And then Sims 4, have you ever had that kind of glitch happen where you place an object and then it doesn't load right away and then it's invisible? You know? I don't know why. I think it's my computer's fault, was just freaking out, and now that it has basically no files on it, it's running way better. But in the game, my items weren't loading properly, so I decided to save, and then it didn't save, so it would be on the saving screen for like an hour. And I was like, great. So I lost that entire build, so then I had to redo. So I basically redid this video like 3 times already. I don't understand. It's fine. But I looked it up about the items not loading, or like trying to save, and it's like, if you try to save when something's not loaded, the game will freeze. So if that ever happens to you, where an item just doesn't show up, don't do anything. Just wait there, wait till it loads, and then save. Or just redo. So I made so many mistakes while doing this, and I have learned a lot about random computer stuff because I spent basically the last 3 days just trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with my computer. Like, it's fine. So I didn't mean to make this video into a rant session, but I did need to explain why this video was late compared to LegitLovely's, so I mean, I did have a good excuse, right? But this build is based off of one of my favorite coffee shops in upstate New York, where I'm from, and I had so many great memories there. I mean, the coffee shop doesn't look anything like this. It's not like I was trying to recreate it, but it is inspired by all the rugs, which I kind of cut out because it takes me a while to find the most perfect rug, if you know what I mean. It needs to fit the dimensions of the room perfectly. Like in my apartment, I have so many rugs, so I'm like, I just need the rugs to work out. But my favorite coffee shop has so many rugs everywhere, so much art everywhere, and it's kind of dark and it has a lot of woods and stuff, and it has a lot of mismatched furniture and kind of a lot of colors, but they're more muted and mostly earthy tones. I used a lot of greens and browns and blacks in this build, and I actually used mismatched furniture on the inside of the build only because the outside I felt like needs to be more uniform, but I used different dining tables and kind of made the chairs all different. Not all of them are different. There's like 3 types of chairs I use, but they end up being all different colors and stuff. And I really liked that because it brought more color to the builds and made it just more eclectic. And I also didn't mean to do this, but I made the builds kind of hipster looking because I mean, I like that style. I know a lot of people cringe at that word, and it's kind of an old term now, which I find it hilarious because it's been like, I don't know, 3 years since everyone started using that word? I don't know. But the inside of this build and the outside are all very hipster because it's kind of modern and cool, but it's still rustic, you know? So some of the things that I cut out of this video are when I did the pillars around the building, because that gets repetitive, and also some of the landscaping, or most of the landscaping, because again, you have to do that thing where you lower the foundation to ground level and then put the plants down and then put it back up, and I just get really annoyed with that, and I didn't include it because this is a very large build and I didn't want the video to be too long. So please let me know if that's too jarring, if it skips around too much, or if you would prefer to see exterior or interior. And again, I did playtest this build. It took quite a while because it's so large and there's so many chairs. I mean, I didn't playtest every single chair because most of them, or some of them, are like pretty obvious that they're gonna work. I mean, I kind of learned what works and what doesn't by now, but if you want to download this lot, the download link is down below, and it is playtested. And also, one of the main things that I want to point out that I actually forgot about, I don't know if it's because I redid this build or like this lot type or this library for this video 3 times, but I forgot a bathroom on the 1st floor and on the 3rd and 4th. So there's one really large one on the 2nd floor because the 2nd floor is kind of bigger than the other top floors, so I thought it would be okay. And I did put like 5 toilets or something. There's like a girls' and a guys' bathroom, which I don't normally do, but I needed to build a very large bathroom on the 2nd floor, so I hope you guys don't mind that your Sims have to go upstairs to go to the bathroom. I mean, sometimes I find when a Sim is in a big lot, they just don't know where the bathroom is, or they have to use the toilet and then they never use it. I mean, that didn't really happen with this build. The Sims still could find the bathroom and go to the bathroom, but I find that playtesting very large lots, sometimes the Sims just like don't know where to go to the bathroom. I wish that wouldn't happen. I don't know if it's my game, I don't know if it's my computer still being crappy. But let me know if that happens to you guys too, because it's so frustrating. Some of my favorite things about this build are probably the little half circle windows or quarter circle windows from Moschino Stuff Pack. Those are my favorite, and the roof bit that I put the windows on, that is my favorite thing. I wasn't even planning on doing that. I mean, not that I plan out my builds that much, I really don't. Especially with this one, I was like, I just need to get this done, I need to redo the video again. So I ended up putting the windows up on the roof. I wish that we could do 5 floors, because I could have made that floor, like the ceiling, the roofing bit with the circle windows on it. You know what I'm talking about. I could have made that the 5th floor, and I don't think I even tried to do it. For some reason. I wish I had, but I could have made that into like an attic area, and that would have been great because then the ceilings would have been curved and would have looked so cool, but instead I just deleted the flooring right under the roof, so then the top floor kind of has really high ceilings, and I thought that looked good too. So wait, am I wrong? You can't build 5 stories, right? I think I'm just forgetting, and I think my brain is just so messed up from having to deal with this computer situation. But I hope you guys had a great New Year's. I actually had a great New Year's Eve, despite it was while my computer was trying to back up all the files, so the whole time I was just worried that I couldn't get anything from my computer, and when I got home it was finished. Not really, I mean, it showed an error, but I just went to my friend's place with my boyfriend and with a couple people and just got drunk, you know, but it was 5 people and it was really nice. So I hope you guys had a great New Year's too, and I actually can't believe it's 2020. I know it's been a couple days, but it's still if I was 7, say I was 7, right? And I thought about the year 2020, I wouldn't be able to understand it quite completely. I feel like whenever we hit a new decade, it feels weird because it seems like it's so futuristic because we're so used to being in the 20 teens, right? Yeah. I mean, at least that's what I think. So right now I'm doing the second floor, and I am on to all the little rooms with little nooks and crannies, and I tried to make it seem like there are many places to go sit and read by yourself, you know what I mean? I didn't want to make it too social, and there are kind of a lot of hallway spaces because I did put the stairs right in the middle of the build, but I felt like it kind of sectioned off the huge square shape that it was, and I probably could have made more room if I positioned it differently. But I wanted to use the big stairs for the not for the bathroom, oh my gosh, for the first floor, because it makes it seem more grand and kind of more public and easy to route to, you know? But on the next couple of floors, I used the small stairs, and I did configure them so that they're kind of a spiral shape, or I tried to make them kind of seem like spiral shape and they just go up forever, but I couldn't really position them in a way that made sense, so I think I cut that out when I was fiddling with the stairs for so long. But because like this build is 4 stories, so it did take a while to figure out the stairs, but I end up putting a lot of desks on this lot, so your sim shouldn't have problems trying to play video games or write a novel or whatever. But there aren't any designated areas that are like just for computers or just for books. I kind of just wanted to mix it up and seem kind of messy because I felt like it also made it seem more eclectic, and I did use that technique where I raise a bunch of bookshelves and put them on top of the books. On top of the other bookshelves, so it made it seem like it was very cluttered without actually having to place a lot of clutter, if you know what I mean. And I did downsize most of the bookshelves because with the window situation too, I just couldn't fit some of the big beautiful bookshelves, you know, and I didn't want to create a lot of unnecessary walls just to fit more books, but I felt like I did a good job in putting enough bookshelves. I mean, that was like the main part of this build, and the speed build is just me putting down as many bookshelves as I can. And I also tried not to cover most of the windows because they are really beautiful, but there aren't very many bookshelves that are short. I guess that's one thing that I wish I had. I mean, I don't have all the expansion packs, so hopefully more people can download this lot, but I still have quite a bit. After Christmas, I got a bunch from my boyfriend, which is amazing, but I didn't want to cover the windows because it is a pet peeve of a lot of people. At least it's a pet peeve of mine, definitely. So I was like, I don't know how to put a lot of bookshelves everywhere. So I ended up sizing down the antique one that looks like it has a lot of random books on it, and it's already messy looking, and I love it. But it kind of looks like it's like messy, but when you put a lot of messy objects around, it still makes it seem not real because all of the objects are the same thing, if you know what I mean. I think I make sense, but my favorite bookshelf is probably the quote muse one that you have to use the Ignore Gameplay Unlocks cheat, which I do have listed down below if you guys want to use it, or if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's because it's so thin, you know. I hate how some of the furniture, or most of the furniture in Sims 4 is very bulky, and it kind of just takes up so much space. And I do think it's it makes sense in terms of scaling sometimes, but some of them are just so big. So I ended up downsizing most of them, or honestly, when they're downsized, it doesn't look like the books aren't real. It just makes the books look a little bit smaller, you know? I mean, sometimes when a Sim is holding a book, I guess it looks a little bit too big. Sometimes it looks like it's a large encyclopedia or something. Am I right? I don't know. That's what I think. And then I kind of put random chairs throughout this build, or they're not random. I just wanted to put little nook and crannies where Sims can read pretty much everywhere. And I do like using random furniture. The 4th floor is probably my favorite floor because as you go up in this build, I tried to put more activity items. Like I put the Don't Wake the Llama table, and I kind of had to configure it so it was playable, but it is playable. I put 2 of them, one on the 3rd floor and one on the 4th floor. But I don't know if that seems like a party item and not a library item, but I felt like it fit the build pretty well. I also put 2 easels up on the 4th floor that are kind of just in this little painting nook with a little... I guess paint splattered rugs is what it is, but I put one of those underneath, and again, bookshelves everywhere. I also put that item, I'm not sure what it does because I did just get a bunch of packs, but the item, I think it's from Strangerville, that you can like put a bug on Sims, like that little spying table desk thing. I don't know, I thought that fit this too, and I think it's kind of funny that you can spy on other Sims as your one Sim. You know what I mean, right? It's hard to talk right now. I think I'm just trying to get this video up because I'm sad. I had to find a new intro and outro, which I'm not too sad about because my other ones were just free anyways. Let me know if you like the new ones better because I definitely like the ones that I have now more. And I think it's better looking, and I also did a little bit of a different thing in the beginning. It's not like that many people are watching my videos, but it's just, I just wanted it to be different, so I guess it's good that I changed things earlier rather than later after making a bunch of videos. But I think a lot of people change their intros and outros quite often. I don't think it's a big deal. The harder thing about this video is that I had to relearn 2 different softwares for audio and video. I mean, I guess it's my fault for using random bootlegged versions from my friends of different softwares. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that in this video, but I don't really care. I don't get why each software is so much different from each other. Like, I thought it was going to be easier. I don't know. Every time you watch something or you listen to something or any sort of art, I feel like it sounds a lot easier and looks a lot easier than it actually is. Like, I'm actually a music major and in my master's right now, and every time I hear a great musician play, I'm a violinist, but whenever I listen to great and famous musicians, honestly, I'm just like, oh, that's easy, I can do that. And then I try playing the piece that they're playing, and I'm like, why is it so much different now? Why is it so much different when I try to figure something out? I mean, that's just how everything is, you know? But props to everyone who makes art. Props to people who write books, are musicians, create any sort of item or art, or honestly, I guess working at your job in any sort of way is also hard. But I do think that there is a thing about creating art that's so hard that doesn't seem that hard. I'm not trying to pity party you guys, I just want to say how amazing artists are in general and any sort of creator. I don't know how I got onto this subject, but I do think it's related because this is about a library and anyone that goes to a library is trying to learn something. Oh yeah, I got on the subject because of the easels up on the 4th floor. That's it. I didn't even realize that. I also tried to put curtains everywhere, and for some reason, I know it's also a pet peeve of some people not to put curtains, but for some reason, I forget them. I guess maybe I forgot them in this build because the windows are so beautiful. Like, the windows are so good looking. I don't know, let me know if it bothers you if people put curtains or not. I mean, it does, in my opinion, for some windows, but for these windows, for some reason, I didn't want to put curtains, but I did end up putting them. And it's just hard with those half circle windows too because there's no actual curtain for them. I don't know why they added a window like that in a stuff pack if they couldn't, like, if they didn't give us a curtain that actually works with it. But I mean, it's whatever, I guess. I don't know what you guys voted for in the vote for the new stuff pack, but I voted Granny Chic. I think it was the first option, and I really liked that one. Honestly, it's not because we didn't have the items, it's because I guess I liked that style the most. I did want to do the, what was the last one? The DIY Delight one, because it's very colorful, but I felt like the Granny Chic just like goes with a lot of items that I already have, like according to the expansion packs that I have. And I don't know, I mean, I guess you can see through this build exactly that I would like that kind of style compared to the others. I did like the middle one because it was kind of unisex, because I do think that's a good idea. But then again, like, I'm not actually that much of a girly person, despite how my channel looks and how my new intro and outro looks. I'm actually not a person that likes pink. But for some reason in The Sims, I always want to create pink things, and that actually is something that I was working on the past couple weeks. I was working on like a small pink house that was very flowery and had a lot of debug flowers everywhere and had a pond in the backyard. But yeah, that's also gone off of my computer because I didn't upload it to the gallery, like when it was a draft form, because I was like, or I didn't save it to my EA account either. I don't know if that works if you lose your save file. Like, I don't know if it just saves it on your computer or if it saves it online. I'm not completely sure. I haven't checked that actually, because maybe I still have my castle build, but I didn't record actually building it, so I don't think there's a way to redo that unless I start over. But anyways, I am not actually a person that likes pink. I really love the color green. It's probably my favorite color. You can probably tell that in some of my builds. But I don't really wear pink that much unless it's a specific color of pink. And I'm a dark-haired person, and I do like makeup, like somewhat. But I've always been kind of someone that's not as feminine. Like, I'm definitely not as feminine. I don't know what quote feminine is, you know what I mean? I don't want to go on that topic, but I do like talking about stuff like that. So I do like talking while I'm doing these speed builds a lot, but a lot of times I want to go on to kind of controversial topics, you know, and I don't know how good that is to talk about it. Like, I don't know if people hate that, but that's something that I like to talk about a lot. I don't really like to talk about the fact, I'm interested in politics a little bit. I'm interested in talking about kind of controversial topics, okay? And sometimes when I'm just talking and rambling during a speed build, I start talking about those topics, and then I kind of catch myself and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't even mention this. Like in my black and white house build, if you haven't watched that, you should definitely go and watch that, but I tell a story about this guy, like these two creepy guys that like came up to me in the dark pretty much, and I start talking about just society, and it gets kind of a lot. And I do worry about people not liking that, but I don't think it should matter, and I think I'm just gonna do it anyways whenever I get on a topic that I want to talk about. If I have all of the right words to say, I will say them. Alright, I hope you guys don't mind about me rambling about random topics, but if you guys are still watching, thank you so much, and it would mean so much to me if you subscribed, pressed that notification bell, and also liked this video. Bye!